Going on this business about the unfrozen assets, you know, with the Bidens, black is white, white is black. Team Biden doesn't know the truth is a moving target. Nothing you might ordinarily think is true or false is, in fact, true or false with them. Riddle me this. Pentagon spokesperson Sabrina Singh. She was asked if Iranian deterrence is working. So 56 attacks on U.S. troops later, she said yes. Yes. By the way, that's 56 attacks and growing. Yes, sure, it's working. Or regarding Iran waivers to unfreeze $10 billion. State Department spokesperson Matt Miller says there is no country in the world where we deny access to food and medicine. Really? Well, I've got a country. How about Iran? How about Hamas, Gaza, or any of the Iranian terrorist proxies? I would deny them access to anything after they murdered 1,400 people on October 7th and continue to murder innocent civilians. If Team Biden had an ounce of integrity, they wouldn't give Iran or its proxies a wooden nickel. And by the way, just for the record, the $10 billion of frozen money originally allowed Iraq to import electricity and gas from Iran. Had nothing to do with food and medicine. All right. Now, these frozen funds are in an escrow account in Baghdad, and that is just where they should remain, probably forever. We're at war. War. Even though the State Department may not know it, just like the $6 billion in frozen assets in the Biden hostage deal. Money is fungible, as John Roberts correctly said. You give Iran any money, it means they can spend a similar amount for their various nefarious terrorist murdering purposes. Somebody in the State Department must have taken an economics course at some point in their lives. The Bidens keep saying they're enforcing the Iranian economic, banking, business, and energy sanctions. But news reports are proliferating that China oil imports from Iran, which now total about $40 billion at an annual rate, are financing the terrorist war. In fact, China oil imports from Russia, now totaling some $66 billion at an annual rate, are financing the Ukraine war. China is financing at least 2 wars against the United States. It's that simple. But the Biden administration continues to deny it. The Bidens haven't lifted one finger to enforce sanctions, to interdict or impound an Iranian oil tanker, or sink a ship, or bomb an oil field. Both wars are aimed at the United States ultimately. So, Biden's going to meet with Chinese President Xi in San Francisco tomorrow, which Governor Newsom has cleaned up and prettied up for the occasion. I'll bet you Biden never mentions China's war financing. They want to de-escalate, quote-unquote, manage competition, quote-unquote, without acknowledging that China is our adversary, our enemy. In fact, Team Biden just welcomed Russia to this Pacific Economic Meeting. Isn't that wonderful? Let's all be friends with all of our enemies. You know what, the Bidens, again, black is white, white is black. Yes is no, no is yes. Just like the economy. The Bidens are incapable of telling the truth. Remember, the president cut the budget deficit by $1.7 trillion, whereupon the liberal Washington Post awarded him a bottomless Pinocchio. Remember, there was no inflation, even though the level of consumer prices has risen nearly 18% during Biden's tenure. Remember, he inherited a reeling economy, even though Trump handed him a 6.5% growth rate with less than 1.5% inflation. And now take a listen to this doozy, just today.
You know, I've seen firsthand what the reports make clear. The devastating toll of climate change and its existential threat to all of us, and is the ultimate threat to humanity, climate change.
Really, look at him. However, 1,500 scientists recently wrote a letter saying there is no climate emergency, and that includes 4 Nobel Prize winners. Again, black is white, white is black. Yes is no, no is yes. The Bidens are incapable of telling the truth. And worst of all, the Bidens are appeasing our worst enemies, and they are making the world an incredibly dangerous place. That's the bottom line. That's the part that's the toughest of all, and that's my riff.